Good morning. Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home, or you are seeking comfort and connection in uncertain times, we are grateful you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community, seeking truth and love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values, which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us matters and that we are all connected through the vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. There are many links of connection in the comments section, including credits for the readings, to virtual religious education, for donations, and to be added to our email newsletter list. First, a few announcements. The all-church Zoom meeting will be on Wednesday at 5:30. We'll send a reminder email in the early afternoon on Wednesday with the link. Also, we'll be holding a virtual coffee and conversation time after this worship service until 1 p.m. on Zoom. You can find the link in the Show More section below or from the newsletter. The co-chairs of the Serendipity Auction, Susan Comstock, Kathy Diamant, and Jenny Walsh, are so happy that donations are starting to come in for the online auction that will take place between November 8th and 14th. There are so many creative ways the auction helps our community to stay connected. We have opportunities to volunteer in small and easy ways in advance of the bidding and ways to help during the virtual celebration party on November 14th. Check for information in the newsletter, or you can email them at auction@ucevanston.org. And here is Tom Heffling with a few words from the search committee.
I'm Tom Hempfling of UCE's Ministerial Search Committee. We have already begun the next step in our discernment process, cottage meetings. These are facilitated group conversations providing an opportunity to hear and build on what others say. Each cottage meeting is held by Zoom and lasts for 90 minutes. Breakout rooms enable small groups of 10 people. You will get 3 questions provided in advance so you can think about your answers ahead of time. Everyone has a turn to speak without interruption. The facilitator will maintain a 2-minute speaking limit for each response. We do not have back and forth discussion, but everyone has an equal turn to share your thoughts. Any written summary will not attribute comments to a specific person. The 3 remaining cottage meetings are Friday, October 9th at 10:30 a.m., Sunday, October 11th at 9:30 a.m., and Sunday morning, October 25th, right after the Special Democracy Revival combined service. Please register to attend. Look for a link in the UCE News or on the UCE website. Be sure your voice is heard.
And now I invite you to get your chalices ready, set a place for yourself and your family as we join in beloved community.
Our opening reading is an untitled poem by Ian W. Rydell. Come hoof and trunk and tail and horn and paw and wing and claw. Come bird and reptile, mammal born, for all full of nature's law. Bring bark and crow and ribbit too, and silent stare and hiss. Bring purr and trill and warble too, and voice no ear can miss. We gather here each life and all to celebrate and sing, to honor creature large and small, 'tis holiness we bring. Welcome to worship.
The Thompson Hay family lights our chalice in northern Illinois on the traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Menominee, Ho-Chunk, Sac, and Fox, also call this area home. We name these in honor and in respect. Please join in saying these words by Betty Doty. Glory be to the earth and the wind. Glory be to the sun and the rain. Glory be to the animals and children. Glory be to our holy flame, which calls us together as one.
Please join me in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Today we are celebrating the animals in our lives, and our relationships with our stuffed animals are very important to many of us. Some of my colleagues and I were sharing ideas for fun things to do even though our churches are staying closed, and the idea of a stuffed animal sleepover was born. This morning's Time for All Ages is a video of the highlights of our stuffy sleepover.
UCE's first Stuffy Sleepover, held on September 28th, 2020. Ms. Gorilla and Mr. Bear were our chaperones and were ready to greet and check in our guests. They made sure everyone over 2 years old had a mask and that everyone had a permission form. Some of our parents and owners were anxious about leaving us. Once everyone arrived, we took a group photo in the sanctuary. Reverend Eileen joined us for a short time too, before she had to go back to writing next week's sermon. Then she had a great idea. Maybe we could give her our thoughts on the sermon.
So our covenant says, love is the spirit of this church. Do you remember what the second part is? Yeah, service is its law. Law? What does that mean? You're right, Bunny. Laws aren't just about the rule of law, but it's about how we do things, the special rules of the church. It's called a covenant, and it says that, right? It's our great covenant. It means that's what we're promising to each other, to be loving to each other. How do you practice being loving, Susie? Yeah. Good point, Snoopy. Right. So we dwell together in peace? Are we always peaceful? Yeah, not always. Me neither. But we try, right? And we keep working at it. And we seek the truth in love. And we help one another. Yeah. Thanks, Pooh. I appreciate that. Well, I hope you have fun in your sleepover tonight. It's really great to be in the church.
We went downstairs to play a get-to-know-you game. You know, the one where you sit in a circle and call someone's name and roll the ball to them. Mr. Bear was hearing mumblings about the baby.
Why is there a baby here? I thought this was just for stuffies. That baby doesn't have any fur.
Mr. Bear kindly pointed to our covenant on the wall, especially the part about the golden rule and playing nicely. Then Mr. Bear explained our first principle, that everyone is worthy and deserves respect. We shared how we are alike and different, and Mr. Bear read the story, Why Am I Different? After the story, we had a chalice circle in the room next door. We rang a chime, lit the chalice, shared joys and concerns, and got to sing our favorite songs. Then we got to try a spiritual practice. Some of us meditated. Some of us walked the labyrinth. And some of us colored. It was easy to find the supplies in the newly organized art room. And the wiser ones had a discussion on whether or not our principles are a creed. After Chalice Circle, we had playtime. Piggy was feeling hungry, and so he and Snoopy played with the kitchenette. Others had fun building with different blocks and stuff.
I'm queen of the mountain.
Too bad we couldn't play outside. It was pouring rain. Playing with the kitchenette wasn't good enough for Piggy. He and Susie got out some snacks, individually wrapped, of course. And look who had been hiding in the cupboard. Sammy the spider finally made an appearance just to eat some chips. After our snack, it was movie time in the youth room. Ms. Gorilla gave us 3 choices, and we got to vote on which one to watch. Ms. Gorilla told us that our 5th principle says that everyone has a vote in the things that matter to them, and movies matter to us. It was getting late after the movie and time to settle down. Mr. Bear read a bedtime story, Guess How Much I Love You. The story made some of us sad and missing our parents and owners. He reminded us that we will be reunited in the morning. Some of us snuggled under blankets. Susie had several, and so she shared with others. The nocturnal stuffies talked quietly in a corner until they were sleepy. Mr. Bear and Ms. Gorilla took turns staying awake in case anyone woke up during the night. We all slept soundly, dreaming of seeing our parents and owners in the morning. While waiting to be picked up, we took one last picture. Let's do this again tonight.
Oh, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do. And the old cow just goes moo. The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle while the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey brays and the pony neighs and the old coyote howls. Oh, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. Oh, listen to the top where the little birds sing and the melodies with the high notes ringing and the hoot owl howls over everything and the jaybird disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day, the little duck quacks and he's on his way. The possum, he ain't got much to say and the porcupine talks to himself. Oh, all God's critters got a place in the choir, and some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now. It's a simple song, a living song everywhere by the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, the grumpy alligator and the hawk above, the sly raccoon and the turtle dove. One more time now, 1, 2, 3. And all God's critters got a place in the choir, and some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or pause or anything they got now.
You may share your joys and sorrows with our community by submitting them through the Google form found on the homepage of our website. Alternatively, you may send an email to me or to Reverend Eileen. You may also type what is on your heart at this time into the chat. These are the joys and sorrows that have been shared with us ahead of today's service. From the Ministerial Search Committee, they are grateful for everyone who took the time to complete the survey. And we want to congratulate Judy Polifka, the final survey raffle winner. Look in the newsletter for more opportunities to share your thoughts about our next settled minister via the upcoming cottage meetings. From Noel Jovovich, it has been just over 8 months since my partner Vito died, and I want to express my deep gratitude to UCE, to Reverend Eileen, and to all of you who helped with or attended Vito's memorial service. It meant a great deal to me then, and it still does today. Thank you. From Jessica Tomel Presto. Please keep CJ's brother, Michael, in your hearts and minds, sending him good vibes as he recovers from being hit by a car while riding his motorcycle. He will be in the hospital recovering from surgery. From Melanie Kitchener, I'm sad that so many on the net are expressing deadly thoughts about our president now that he's ill with COVID-19. I don't like or respect the man, but he is part of what my faith teaches is the inherent worth and dignity of humanity. Sad no one taught him to honor his fellow humans. From Kim Larson. Craig came home on Tuesday, but returned to Northwestern on Friday morning after passing out at home due to low blood pressure caused by dehydration. We are told it is common for a couple of hospital visits in the first couple of months as they work to refine his medications. He may be discharged yet today. Consequently, the welcome home parade planned for yesterday was canceled. I hope to reschedule it. Thank you all for your messages of love and support. Please take a moment as we read to ourselves the joys and sorrows that have been added to the chat. We know that these are not the only joys and sorrows that are on our hearts. We hold all of these, spoken, written, and silently held, tenderly within our community of care. As we enter into a moment of quiet, I invite you to say aloud the names of those who you are holding in your heart, those you are celebrating, and those who are sick or have died. Let their names gather on the winds to be held in this community that knows no walls. Holding all these in our hearts, together we expand our celebrations and lessen the burden of our grief. I invite you to join me in a time of prayer and meditation. Spirit of creation, we are grateful for the community gathered together this morning. Grateful for our loved ones that we are at home spending extra time with during this pandemic. Grateful even for their quirks. Give us patience to continue to be generous with one another. We are grateful for our animal friends who bring us comfort and bring joy into our lives. Spirit of love and mystery, be with us today and moving forward as we mourn and miss those who have died. Our partners, our family members, our friends. Be also with those of us who are mourning the loss of a beloved pet. Through our memories and our community, bring us comfort and a sense of peace. We hold in our hearts those who are injured, those who are sick. Let strength and patience be their companion as they heal. Spirit of life, help us be fully present in this moment in time. Help us to be proactive in our actions to support Black Lives Matter and to dismantle white supremacy culture in our church, our workplaces, and our communities. Help us to be proactive in maintaining and improving our society's democratic process. In these times of transition, when the unknown and the uncertainty can cause us much anxiety, help us to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to take care of ourselves so that we can go into our church, our workplaces, and our communities with enough energy to effectuate change. On this Pet Blessing and Animal Blessing Sunday, we are conscious of the interconnected web of life. We are acutely aware of how our human activities create and destroy. We seek courage and endurance to continue to seek out the connections between our fellow humans and among all life in order to act in ways that positively affect these relationships. We are thankful for this precious planet and the evolutionary process that has brought us and our animal friends into existence. Let us always marvel at the mysteries of nature and the life-giving relationships among flora and fauna. Blessed be.
When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out loud.
UCE remains a vital part of the world and our community. And because we continue to need one another in the blessings of community, we take this time to invite you to give to our shared plate. This month, our share plate will be donated to Black Lives Matter of Chicago through Crossroads Fund as a fiduciary agent.
Good morning. I'm Sarah Vanderwicken, a member of the REAL team and the Social Justice Council. Earlier this year, the Social Justice Council decided that for this year, eligibility for sharing the plate required that an organization be addressing systemic racism. Of all our chosen recipients for this year, Black Lives Matter is at or very near the top in not just addressing, but actively and specifically working against systemic racism. Black Lives Matter Chicago has been at the forefront of bringing issues important to the Black community to the streets and to the broader Chicago community. It has worked not only to confront police violence, but also support families of its victims, provide food to the community through its food box program, organize against police in the schools, and generally raise up to public attention the myriad of ways white supremacy demeans the value of Black lives. As we continue to learn what our sign out front the church means, listen to the words of Alicia Garza, one of the founders of the national Black Lives Matter movement. Hashtag Black Lives Matter doesn't mean your life is not important. It means that Black lives, seemingly without value within the system of white supremacy, are in fact important to your own liberation. When Black people in this country get free, the benefits will be wide-reaching and transformative to the society as a whole. Not until Black Lives Matter will all lives matter. Please give generously.
You can text to give, send in a check, or give from our website. If you send in a check, please indicate in the memo line if your check is for the shared offering, pledge, capital campaign, or some other giving. And may what you give bring you joy.
Our reading is titled, We Are Part of the Earth. Although this is a title that has been created for these words are from a speech attributed to Chief Seattle. Although what he actually said has been lost through translation and rewriting, the essence of his message about the interconnection of the world endures. Chief Seattle lived from the 1780s until 1866 and was the leader of both the Suquamish and Duwamish in the area of the country we call the state of Washington. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The deer, the horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rocky crests, the juices of the meadows, the body heat of the pony, and humans all belong to the same family. So when the great chief in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land, he asks much of us. If we decide to accept, I will make one condition. The white man must treat the beasts of this land as his brother. I am a savage and do not understand any other way. I have seen 1,000 rotting buffaloes on the prairie, left by the white man who shot them from a passing train. I am a savage and I do not understand how the smoking iron horse can be more important than the buffalo that we kill only to stay alive. What are humans without the beasts? If the beasts were gone, humans would die from a great loneliness of spirit. For whatever happens to the beasts soon happens to humans. All things are connected. This we know. The earth does not belong to humans. Humans belong to the earth. This we know. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth. Humans did not weave the web of life. They are merely a strand in it. Whatever people do to the web, they do to themselves.
Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning. In the beginning, man gave names to all the animals. In the beginning, long time ago,
he saw an animal that liked to growl, big furry paws, and he liked to howl. Great big furry back and furry hair. I think I'll call it a bear.
man gave names to all the animals. In the beginning, in the beginning, man gave names to all the animals. In the beginning, long time ago, she saw an animal up on a hill, chewing up so much grass until she was filled. She saw milk coming out, but she didn't know how. I think I'll call it a cow. Woman gave names to all the animals. In the beginning, in the beginning, woman gave names to all the animals. In the beginning, long time ago,
he saw an animal that liked to snort, horns on his head and they weren't too short. It looked like there wasn't nothing that he couldn't pull. I think I'll call it a bull.
Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning. In the beginning. Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning, long time ago. She saw an animal leaving a muddy trail, a real dirty face and a curly tail. He wasn't too small and he wasn't too big. I think I'll call it a pig. Woman gave names to all the animals in the beginning. In the beginning. Woman gave names to all the animals in the beginning, long time ago.
Next animal that he did meet had wool on his back and hooves on his feet, eating grass on a mountainside so steep. I think I'll call it a sheep.
Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning. In the beginning. Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning, long time ago. She saw an animal as smooth as glass, slithering his way through the grass. Saw him disappear by a tree near a lake. I think I'll call him a snake. Woman gave names to all the animals in the beginning. In the beginning. Man gave names to all the animals in the beginning, long time ago. In the beginning, long time ago.
It is time, friends, to gather all the animals. Bring your pet over by the screen. Find your photo of your beloved pet who has died, or maybe you are unable to visit because of the pandemic. Pull up your photo of your favorite animal. You are invited to type the name of your beloved pet or favorite animal into the chat. We will begin with an adapted version of the prayer, Remembering Our Pets Who Have Died by Kim K. Harvey. Many of us have lost beloved pets over our lives, and so we take time to remember them. Great Spirit of Life, we pray today for our animal friends, grateful for their companionship and devotion. By our kindness to them, may we be worthy of their love. We pray for our dear pets who have left us, and for all our companion animals who brighten our days and who comfort us by night. We pray for animals unknown to us, who are hunted or deserted or hurt. We ask for them pity and mercy. And for those who take care of animals, We ask hearts of compassion, gentle hands, and kind words. Help us to be true friends to the animals and love them and keep them and bless them all the days of their lives. Blessed be. And now for our living companions, our guppies and starfish, our frogs and turtles, our guinea pigs and ferrets, our horses, cats, and dogs, and all our other pets. We bless them today using the words from the Animal Companionship Responsive Blessing by Karen G. Johnston. It will be a responsive reading because after the end of each section, I will say, "We give thanks," and you are invited to respond with, "We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth." The response is in the chat, and Reverend Eileen will also be saying it with you. Ours is a world alive and allowed with the presence of creatures and critters. Animals abound, interwoven in our human lives, and wholly independent. This is the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
Some of us have known animals who have saved our very lives. Sometimes this is metaphor. Sometimes it is literal fact. For so many of us, we are better human animals because we have known four-legged, winged, clawed, and hooved animals as part of our story. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
Animals are not only cuddly and cute, companions of solace and delight. Animals are deeply wild, with the capacity to defend and to kill, even the ones we have pronounced tamed. Let us always show forms of proper respect for this wild way. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
There is the painful reality that some animals suffer needlessly at our hands. There are animals who encounter human cruelty, left hungry or maltreated, used for mean-spirited profit, habitat stolen and built upon without regard for our shared mutual existence. Let us do what we can to be able to give thanks for animals without hypocrisy or heartless dominance. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
There are animals in our daily lives whose labor makes our own lives easier, safer, more accessible. Animals who lend us their fur or hair or feathers or fleece or milk or eggs, that we might be sustained without their loss of life. Animals whom we raise or hunt, may it always be compassionately and with respect for the wider web, though we know this is mostly not the case. Whose lives are sacrificed that some of us may eat or cover our bodies. May we move ever closer to that ideal to live lightly on the earth, taking only what we must and no more. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
Now turning to your pet, giving your pet a hug or holding your pet in your hand gently, or holding out your hand with loving energy directed towards your pet or another animal that brings you comfort and joy. Please say your pet's name or that animal's name aloud. Blessings upon each animal in your life. May those animals joining us today and those of you who care for them be lovingly held in the hand of creation. We give thanks.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
Blessed be. Please enjoy this video of our UCE animals and friends compiled from the photos that you sent in. Today is World Animal Day, which dates back to 1925, when Heinrich Zimmermann organized the first celebration in Berlin to raise awareness and improve the welfare of animals. The date of October 4th was chosen because it is the Catholic feast day of Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals. It is a day to consider how animals have an impact on your region's culture. I spent the first 5 years of my life living in a farmhouse in central Illinois, surrounded by cornfields and pasture for Angus cows. My mom tells a story of when I was 3, being on a walk one day, when I just walked up the side of the ditch along the road and stood nose to nose with the neighbor's bull, each of us just watching each other. What animals did you grow up around? I have a real affinity for farm animals. I see them as part of the food chain, but also as independent animals that should be treated during their lifetime with respect and dignity. So I think about not just how I can afford to eat meat that is raised ethically, but about how I can help to eliminate local food disparities so that there is not a false choice between eating and ethical eating. How do we change our society so that everyone eats and that what is available to eat is raised ethically? From our food source to the air we breathe, we are connected in many ways to the animals around us. As the COVID-19 pandemic has shown us, the world is intimately intertwined. Research published this July in Nature Microbiology affirmed the likelihood that the coronavirus emerged from a bat-borne virus that was then introduced to humans through a secondary animal species that is more likely to be handled by humans. Although the intermediary species has not yet been confirmed, the interconnectedness of humans with all animals and their habitats is clear. We must take our love and care for our pets and our favorite animals out into the world. For as Chief Seattle affirmed so many years ago, all things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected.
We celebrate the web of life, its magnitude we sing, for we can see divinity in every living thing. A fragment of the perfect whole in cactus and in quail, as much in tiny barnacle as in the great blue whale. Of ancient dreams we are the sum, our bones link stone to star, and bind our future worlds to come with worlds that were and are. Respect the water, land, and air which gave all creatures birth. Protect the lives of all that share the glory of the earth.
Extinguish the chalice flame. Please join in saying these words by Catherine Jaish. Gracious Creator, hear and bless thy beasts and singing birds, and guard with tenderness small things that have no words.
As we move into our week, some of us with our animal companions, be accompanied by these words from John O'Donohue. May we learn to return and rest in the beauty of animal being. Learn to lean low, leave our locked minds, and with freed senses, feel the earth breathing with us. Blessed be. Go in peace.